Yes, we know when it's stored in the computer system, it's going as a binary. But what are the actual values that we are looking at? So we have values that are read from the sensors. We call them tags in general. Of course, you know, it depends on the operation, you might have different name, but tags is commonly known to refer to a value that is being read from the sensors. And whenever you're sending a control to an actuator, so it's actually referred to as set points. So we can say like set points when we are writing, or tags when we are reading. The data also value could be either digital or it could be analog. Digital, usually it will be either 0 or 1 in discrete signal bits. It could be transferred over serial or bytes in parallel. So either 1 bit at a time as a serial, or in bytes format, so in parallel. We know that in the OT still there are many connections that are going through serial connection or parallel connection, okay, directly linked cables without any IP network in between. And then maybe from the controller, they are going through IP, and maybe we have discussed this a bit before. However, so when we look at a parallel or a serial, we know that it's been a stream of bits or a stream of bytes that is being transferred, and that's how it is being read, and that's how it depends, either it's a tag or it's a set point. That's the way. Another option for the value is actually the analog. So analog will have a constant value output. For example, if you're reading a temperature, so it will give you an analog value, and of course this analog value needs to be converted to a human readable value if you want to build your program on that. So if you want to say anything above 50 degrees, and sorry that in our part of the world we use Celsius degree, we don't use Fahrenheit, but just an example. So when you say above 50 degrees, this is the question. The sensor actually will not read the value as a 50. Instead, it will read from a wide analog range. So maybe from minus 1000, I don't know, 10,922 to plus 10,922. We have discussed this before. Okay, so the value will be, this is the value. So when the sensor is reading the value and passing it over, it will be passing the analog value, and that's, it will be, and then from the processing, from the HMI, for example, or something, it can be represented in the human readable value. However, these are the information, these are the values that we can expect in the OT. Now, OT protocols, they will actually be doing what we are expecting in terms of either reading the tags or status, or transmitting alarms, or updating the set points, or updating a process, or maybe an update for a firmware. You might have the operator station, maybe trying to, like engineering workstation, trying to fix something in the PLC, on the program. Maybe an operator just monitoring, updating a value, or just changing the set point for the PLC or something. So that's usually what the OT protocols will be doing. So what we expect to be loaded inside the OT protocols, we will have the OT protocols as a transport of these values and this exchange of data. Of course, it depends on the protocol, the format, the type of value, the information that is available to be exchanged will be different, depends on the protocol. So when we look inside the OT protocols, we will find that eventually that's exactly what is being communicated. Of course, there are some things to handle the communication, the transport part, but there are the payload that includes these values and this information that is being exchanged.